Scenario 2. Self-actualization. The digitalization of the world of work is characterized by contrasting developments. While some people are excited about the increase in possibilities and are counting on digital innovations, others are increasingly skeptical about relentless change and yearn for authenticity. Virtual worlds simply don't do anything for them anymore. Many are asking, what is the point of all this? How does this benefit society? And what does digitalization mean for me personally? This is not just a kind of retrogressive technophobia. Most people are genuinely open and curious. They welcome change. They want a socially and ecologically intact environment. And they want more of a say with regard to their everyday concerns. And yet the consequences of digitalization in the 2020s are, in many respects, more far-reaching than expected. For a long time, the level of EBIT, company size, and growing market share were the key measures of success. In the meantime, however, it's not so much the Goliaths who set the pace in economic life, but the agile Davids who can organize and network effectively. For example, blockchain technology is contributing to the erosion of centralized business models, and falling prices for processing power and chips are virtually an open invitation to creative profligacy. Crowd communities are playing a bigger role in the funding and realization of new projects. Non-profit companies and consumer cooperatives are changing what goes on in markets. The economy is becoming more regional, small-scale, and willing to experiment. Unpaid work and community involvement are much more appreciated than they used to be. Digitalization and automation complement human work. They do not substitute for it. Although a whole series of activities are disappearing, the so often feared large-scale job losses have not yet come to pass. It seems that many monotonous activities in particular are simply not needed anymore. No one has to sit at a checkout anymore and wave items over a barcode scanner. Repetitive work performed in standardized settings is, as far as possible, being automated, which affects taxi drivers as much as bookkeepers and legal advisors. Difficult and onerous work can be significantly reduced. Simple tasks are gradually disappearing from the world of work, leaving the creative, the complicated, the demanding, and the interpersonal. Aptitudes such as self-reliance, attentiveness, and empathy for colleagues and customers, but also for one's own psychological and physical well-being, are gaining ground. Individual responsibility and self-directed teams are increasingly taking the place of formal company hierarchies. For many managers, this cultural transformation is a major challenge. It's hard to give up power and to rely on workers' own discretion rather than issuing instructions. In the mid-2020s, it's no longer unusual that decisions on appointments to and remuneration of management positions, project workflows and work schedules, as well as the future orientation of the company, are taken by the team, or at least it has a substantial say. The aim now is personality development. Digital assistance systems make possible individually coordinated working environments, thereby enhancing employee flexibility, not just in terms of time and place. Working relationships are often temporary and project-related, although they take place in more or less stable networks. A good reputation as an employer and a modern corporate culture are key to attracting good employees. In particular, in sectors with acute labour shortages, this is a matter of survival. Training opportunities and other ways of retaining staff are being expanded, even for external employees. Personnel departments increasingly have to cope with coordinating a wide range of employment forms. This transformation also confronts the established structures and actors of co-determination with major challenges. For example, how can people's concerns be represented in decentralized and fluid supply chains? And given the wide variety of contractual relationships, interests, and life circumstances, for whom and for what is the Works Council responsible? How can digital devices be used to make opinion-forming and decision-making processes more direct, democratic, and effective? For the trade unions, there's also the problem that their traditional areas of organisation are increasingly deviating from rapidly changing realities in branches and companies. Naturally, digitalisation is no stranger to conflict. After all, recalibration of how humans and machines work together is not the only issue. Interaction and the balance of power between humans are still of the utmost importance. Accordingly, resistance tends to rear its head whenever automation processes, data gathering, or the introduction of an algorithm might lead to a loss of personal integrity or creative freedom. Here, more effective government regulation and agreements are required, mainly at enterprise level, but sometimes also at sectoral level. The role of the state as social floor has become more important in setting boundaries, offering some degree of security, and at the same time facilitating processes of change. In 2035, digitalisation is no longer an issue. It has led neither to major upheavals in the labour market, nor to the predicted enormous boost in productivity. Perhaps its main effect is that many people at the cutting edge of tech hype in the early 2020s have asked what it really means to be human. There was a wide variety of answers.